In January 2014, I turned professional. I needed to make a decision for school. My school was like, hey, Mike, your grades are good, but you don't have enough attendance because you go to competitions. And they were like, you need to go choose for school or choose for archery. Like, oh, that's an easy decision. And I chose for archery. The funny thing is, like, the tournaments that I get podiums with or special events, I keep my bow. For example, like the bow that I became world champion with is still hanging, like in 2013, is still hanging on my wall. And that kind of tournaments, like that kind of like emotions, and like when I watch that bow, I can feel it back. So when I sometimes wake up, I go to, like, I stare at my bows. I'm like, oh, I won. Woke up with that one. I got a third place at the World Cup final. I shot the 600 with that bow, and it's like kind of like an award or like a memory about that tournament. So that's, I think, why I keep reminding about like my tournaments and my medals. I think like the most special feeling I have with a bow is I got two. I won a Lancaster in Vegas with a bow that the limbs were like, when I took the bow apart and I was like putting them back together again because I needed to switch some spacers in it, and I didn't put it back together good enough. So my limbs were not completely into the pocket. It's like, if you see this, like, don't shoot that bow. And I didn't know about it until I shot like a month after Vegas. And you could see that it was like almost like pulling out of the pocket. So it's like, it's really dangerous shooting that bow. But I shot with it for sure like that in Lancaster and Vegas. Other bow was set to a draw length that wasn't for me. And later on, I found out that like I put more modules in it and like all of it. And later on, like how the bow was with the wrong modules, I shot the 600. That world record. Yeah, it was the funny thing was like the bow with the wrong modules, it felt so right on that bow. I like twisted everything, I felt good, and I tried to duplicate that one like with the wrong modules with the next bow. I couldn't figure out how I did it. I tried for months to get that same feeling, and I never could. I still got that bow at home, and I'm surprised how I shot that good with that bow. I had like a tournament, and I was in a World Cup final in Mexico City. I had a tournament that I got kind of like terror panic, and from that moment on, I only had it in the final fields, and still I only have my struggles in the final fields. It's when I want to prove to people that I'm capable of handling it, and then it goes wrong. I shot really bad there, and I knew that I could win by my last arrow, and I shot it like an 8, I think, and I lost. I knew that I had a really good chance of winning there, and then if you go there and you're like so nervous that you cannot even shoot your arrows anymore, you're really disappointed in yourself. It took me about like a year, like from one World Cup final to another World Cup final to finally succeed. I had 4 finals that year. I made every World Cup final. I made like a bronze or the gold final, and I couldn't win a single one. I think I won the one in Shanghai, but that was because my opponent shot a miss, and it wasn't because I shot good. But I was shooting really bad in finals, and then I came into the World Cup final and I won by shooting really good. So that really gave me my mental boost. My problem was that I got really nervous under time. I'm a pretty quick shot, but when I came into finals, you only get 20 seconds of time. I started counting in my head, I started singing songs. I tried a lot of different routines in my shots, and I figured out that when I drew back my bow, I was counting down on the timer of the finals. And then I was keep continuing when I was proceeding my shot. In Odense, I shot my final match against Seppi Celius from South Africa. And I think it was 3 or 4 points ahead. So up 139 with my last arrow to go. And instead of thinking like keeping to my routine, I was like, oh, just hit the target and you're good, you know, you win. And it went kind of wrong, and I shot a 7, I think, or an 8. Like it went off far, but it was good enough to win. And when I came back, I was kind of disappointed in that arrow, because instead of like people like congratulating me about, oh, you won the World Cup final, they were like, hey, what happened the last arrow? I was like, you got that thing again, you know, like, yeah. I was good enough to win, but I was also like, it was like multiple feelings, you know, like feeling, I won, it feels good, I won, but I won by shooting a bad arrow. So I had like mixed feeling, like it was like, I definitely could have been better, you know.
You just go, you don't think as much. Sometimes at full draw you think too much. Ooh, that is something that you don't expect.
In 2017, my World Cup final didn't go as planned. It was really windy on the venue, and kind of my old habit came back from like that I was under pressure of time, and I kind of got back my problems, but it was partly also because I really wanted to win it again, like back-to-back World Cup final winner. And it was multiple things, and at the end I just didn't shoot good, and I didn't deserve to win. 2018 they did the new rule that when you win a stage you get automatically like pre-selected for the World Cup final. Like when I went into the final of Antalya this year, I went in there because I knew I was gonna skip Salt Lake City for another competition. I knew I had like a lot of pressure because I wanted to make the World Cup final. Of course, that's like our highest achievement of the year almost. Like making the World Cup final, you know that you're by the elite top 8, the 8 best archers of the world. So I came into the final with a lot of pressure. My last final didn't go as planned. I wanted to win because I wanted to select for the final. I had multiple things, and I knew that I needed to shoot good there, so I had a lot of pressure, and eventually I shot good.
Required by Christopher Schaff to draw level.
Nothing to it. Good, strong shot.
Oh, the pressure got to him in the end. Christopher Schaff scores 2 9s at the end there, and despite Schloesser scoring a 9, he's taken the match and the gold medal here in Antalya, booked his place in Samsun for the World Cup finals.
I've been shooting really good this season so far. I found my groove in my technique, I found my groove in my equipment, I found everything. Everything is working out how I want it. Like being at this point where I'm now, I never like imagined it, because I've been on the highest level for a couple of years now, and it's something just people normally can dream of, and I was dreaming of that as well, but I never really expected me to be here.